Our time on Earth is short. From this perspective, AI should save us time and make us more productive. And using ChatGPT as the right tool is almost the same as when you interview somebody. You need to ask the right question to get the answer that you are searching for, or that you are expecting, or that you needed to get a better look, vision, or judgment about the information that you are retrieving. But if you don't ask the right question during an interview, you don't get the correct answer that you are searching for. So you need to ask again a new question, a new question, a new question, until you have the information that you like to receive. It's the same for ChatGPT. You want to have the right answer as fast as possible. Otherwise, AI does not save you time. It will cost you time. And that's why it's important to give the right instruction. And the question or instruction that you put in ChatGPT is also known as a prompt. So a good prompt will give you a good result inside ChatGPT. So let's go to ChatGPT and see the difference between a bad prompt, so a bad instruction, and a good prompt, a good instruction. So here we have a new chat, 3.5. In the free version, you have also access to this. And there I will say, okay, what is the challenge that marketers face? Okay, it's given me some answers, but it's very broad. Consumer behavior, digital transformation, data management, privacy. Okay, I understand that a marketer has these problems, but it's a bit broad. Let's say, for example, I will say, what is the challenge of marketers concerning social media on LinkedIn? So here I put in a less broad prompt and a more specific prompt. So instead of what's the challenge that marketers face, then you get broad answers. It's the same as with an interview. If you ask broad questions, you get broad answers. So therefore you need to be more specific and narrow down your prompt. And therefore I added concerning social media on LinkedIn, and then I can even say for the financial industry. So what's the challenge of market concerning social media? That's one, on LinkedIn, and the financial industry. So I could also say YouTube, but I could also say profiles, LinkedIn profiles, instead of social media on LinkedIn, so the posts. And I could also write down automotive or transportation or shipyards, or etc., etc. Now, let's see what will happen. Again, if you use the free version, it can be that the response is a bit slower, it's thinking longer, etc., etc. Okay, markets in the financial industry face specific challenges when it comes to utilizing social media platforms like LinkedIn. Some of the challenge compliant. Okay, so it gives me now a little bit more specific information for financial. This one, I think, is already a good answer. Of course, now you know how to narrow it down, but compliance and regulation, I know this is very important for the financial industry. So you can elaborate on this inside ChatGPT if this is something for you. Another thing that will save you a lot of time using ChatGPT, and the difference between a bad and a good prompt, is to give it a border or a perimeter. So what I can do with the same prompt, what is the challenge of marketers concerning social media on LinkedIn for the financial industry? Right, don't use more than 150 words. So again, you can see that it's thinking. This sometimes happens, a network error, that's no problem. You can try to use regenerate response, and there you have it. It's coming again. So what it now does, it's summarized it, and this will help me to get a better response. So for example, if this is good enough, then you can say, okay, give me more information. So instead of reading the long information, you can also go to a different style, and that's here, the short information. That's a way to get better answers out of ChatGPT, or easier answers, and this will save you a lot of time because you also need to read this. Another thing that you can use in ChatGPT, which will save you a lot of time and you get great output of it, is to ask follow-up questions. So what you can do now is you can open a new chat and then you can continue with other questions, but you can also use this chat to get more information. So what I can do now is, for example, I will say the content is great. Can you share with me, based on this information, what I can do next? So it gives me a plan. It says familiarize yourself with regulation and compliance, develop a thought leadership, create valuable and insightful content. So this is also, I put it here, you can pause the video. But this is also very important, that you can ask follow-up questions in ChatGPT, and there is really power in it. Of course, you need to understand your niche or your field of expertise, but it's good to see how the follow-up is a hidden secret inside ChatGPT that saves you a lot of time, resources, and of course money to get more results, better results out of ChatGPT. Okay, this is a feature that's available in ChatGPT Plus with the GPT-4 model, and I like to show it to you because it really inspires how you can also use ChatGPT for kind of coding, and also to make it much easier for you to use it and to get those results that you like to achieve for your marketing. So, for example, in this chat, I already learned ChatGPT what MidJourney is. This is GPT-4, by the way. Then you see I've created a lot of prompts. I just say, okay, listen, I've learned ChatGPT what MidJourney is, and then I say you need to create a prompt for me for MidJourney so I can create easy kind of prompts for MidJourney, so easy instructions so they can create a better picture out of it. So let's say, for example, a hyper-realistic image of a woman, that's metaphorically speaking, is that correct English? I don't know. That metaphorically speaking represents LinkedIn social media platform. Okay, and now it will help me to create a instruction or prompt for MidJourney. So in this example, I just only write down a sentence, and ChatGPT helps me with creating a broader and better prompt for MidJourney. So I will copy paste this to MidJourney. So please note that this is something I have written down myself because I don't have that much time to put all these prompts in. And I use Chat GPT to create these prompts for me. And then I put it in MidJourney, and it saves you a lot of time. You just learn ChatGPT, what MidJourney is, what kind of prompt you can use, and then you put. And this is the result that I got out of ChatGPT by just putting in down one sentence. It understood me, and then it creates a better prompt for MidJourney. And MidJourney creates from text and image. And here you have it. This is one option of how AI sees a woman, metaphorically speaking, as a social media platform. Represents social media platform. It's business suit. It created these dots, these connections with each other. And yeah, this is also something that ChatGPT, the right prompt, will give you more instead of spending a lot of time with the prompt, getting the result. You can use ChatGPT to create these prompts for you. By the way, if you like this example I created in MidJourney in the Masterclass AI, you will also learn how you can use MidJourney, so the text to photo AI, for your business. If you're interested, the link is in the description. You can see if it's something for you, if it suits your needs, and then you can apply and you can join the Masterclass AI. In the next video, I will explain the differences between the free version of ChatGPT and the paid version. I'll see you in the next video.